Don't you think that most conspiracy theories end up becoming true?
No,
You could say that the theory of evolution is a conspiracy theory
no, you
because it
cannot.
is.
No, you
Why not?
cannot. With scientific theory, it goes through the scientific method, which is a means to find provisional truth, where you take a falsifiable hypothesis and then you ground it with empirical data and observational evidence.
It is a fact that green energy does not work for a full country. It could work for a house, a small, tiny log
I don't
house
think
in
that's a
the
fact.
lake. That's nice, but it wouldn't work for a full country,
I don't
right?
think that's a fact. I'm pretty sure China has been like rapidly shifting towards green energy, wind and solar power. They haven't had a lot of issues.
But they all use nuclear energy as well. It's not fully switched to green energy. So fossil fuel
Right. I mean, I don't think you should
is
snap your fingers and just switch. It's a transition. I think how Biden was doing it was pretty well. I think he set out incentives for companies to switch while also still allowing for the drilling of oil. He didn't hinder that. Like we were the most or energy independent we've ever been because of that, while also setting the way to move towards more green energy measures.
now the other thing with green energy, it's all a business, right? Of course, energy is the biggest business probably in the entire world right now. So don't you think climate change is sort of like a kind of like advertisements for a nice business. Now imagine you're a billionaire, right? You want more money. So you make out this thing called climate change, right? And you gain billions of dollars because of people actually believing in it and following all this green stuff.
Mm.
Don't you agree with that?
No, because the people who do the research on climate change that say it's
Oh, they
real.
probably got bought. They definitely got bought.
So,
So you're a scientist. Imagine you have to say one thing. You have to say climate change is real.
mhm.
You get paid billions for that. Would you take it or leave it?
So I mean,
You take it.
can't you just say the same thing on the other side that the oil
Yes, of
executives
course, definitely.
are
That's what I
just
said
paying people
before. I
to
said
not believe in climate? I believe in the science. I believe in peer-reviewed science. Do you believe in the scientific method?
science is bought.
Do you believe in
Most,
do you believe in the veracity of the scientific method?
of course, I believe in
Okay, so
science
then I would
also
believe in
to
data
an
that
extent.
I would believe in provisional truths and conclusions that come through the scientific method, and peer-reviewed studies would indicate that the scientific method was used to come to a conclusion on climate change.
They could all be paid.
Okay. You could be
No,
paid. You could be
don't you?
paid right now by oil executives to be trying to convince me because you want your oil boss to make more money, right? Like I don't
Exactly. So it's a revisionist thing.
so I don't
It's a,
and this might be a difference between us. I don't do conspiracy a lot, right? Conspiracy is when you have point A and point B and you fill in the in between with a story. And I'd rather stick to like hard empirical data, observational evidence, things we can ground ourselves in reality.
don't you think that most conspiracy theories end up becoming true?
No.
You could say that the theory of evolution is a conspiracy theory
No, you
because it
cannot.
is.
No, you
Why not?
cannot.
Why not?
What?
Why not?
Because evolution is proven through the
It's not.
scientific
It's a theory.
method.
If it would be proven, then it wouldn't be a theory of evolution. It'd be the
No. No,
evolution.
now you're just misunderstanding the
It
scientific
is
use of.
factually a theory. It
Right.
is.
Science uses the word theory different than we do, where for us, a theory would be a guess. For them, a theory is something that has been confirmed through the scientific method. It is only considered a theory to them because scientific method finds provisional truth. Science is always changing. Truth is just what contorts with reality. So as you find new evidence, truth can change, which is why science uses the word theory. But evolution, the observational evidence, the empirical data on evolution being true is far greater than the conspiracy theory of, I don't know, the Earth being flat, right? Like the veracity of these two things are on completely different levels. To say they're the same is insane.
It all starts from somewhere. What's his name? Darwin?
Yeah,
Charles Darwin?
yeah.
He was at one point a conspiracy theorist. Back then, in the times where everyone was
No, he
believing
wasn't.
that. So no. Let me talk. Let me
Okay,
talk.
sorry.
Yeah, in the times where Christianity was the main belief in every human being in Europe, he in this world he was a conspiracy theorist because he came out with a theory that hey, actually, this is not God's kind of like work. It's more of nature's work and like evolution and stuff. We weren't all made one species, you know? We all evolutionated from something, right? So he was a conspiracy at one point, conspiracy theorist.
No.
Now, let's say I'm a
No.
conspiracy theorist right now. What would I be in 200 years, buddy? When all the
I just
articles are
I do just quickly want to say that the rigor that goes into the theory of evolution, or I mean, not even just that specifically, theories in which Darwin was testing and putting forth just as a whole, right? The rigor that goes through is not comparable to a conspiracy theory, where for a conspiracy theory, what you do is people have point A and point B. They don't know what connects them, so they just make up what makes sense to them. There's no testing that goes into that. There's no empirical data that goes into that. Nothing. With theory, with scientific theory, it goes through the scientific method, which is a means to find provisional truth, where you take a falsifiable hypothesis and then you ground it with empirical data and observational evidence to come to what is, again, a provisional truth, which is what best contorts with reality. So like what Darwin was doing isn't the same as the guy who said, you know, when I go outside, the world looks flat, so it must be flat.
Okay.
You would agree, right?
Yeah, you got some good points. Good job.
Okay.